Hey guys, so today I am telling the story of my year 13 experience. About 3 months ago I did a video about my year 12 experience, so I would suggest that you go and watch that first because you'll understand this video a lot better. So I'll leave that in a card. Which side is it? This side? I'll leave it in a card and I'll leave it in the description. The main people in this story are me, Mia, Lauren, Kyle, I think those are all the names I've given people. The only real name I'm using is Lauren because she is still my best friend and everything's all cool, so I'm using her real name, but no one else's name is their real name. Also, just a disclaimer, this is my half of the story. I don't know the other people's side of the story. This is just my side of the story, so yeah. So Mia had been my friend since nursery, and then at the start of year 13 she got a boyfriend who I am going to call Kyle. She never hung out with us anymore, she just wanted to hang out with Kyle. I almost said his real name there, gosh darn it. She never hung out with us anymore. She didn't come to Lauren's 18th birthday party. She never came out with us on the weekend, never saw us any other time apart from school, ever. So that was the start of that. But she was also particularly mean to me. And it just escalated from it being jokey around, friends being, friends, you know what I mean, when someone says something, but because they're your friend, it's like, they're just kidding. It escalated from that to genuinely being mean and it being all the time. I've got notes, by the way. I have 3.5 sides of A4 notes for this video, so this is probably going to be a long one. But anyway, all these small things that she did built up over time. So one thing that she would do is she would punch me every day. It started off as like a playful punch, like punching the arm playfully, but it got like harder and harder and harder, and then it was like bad, like it would hurt. I had a bruise permanently on my arm because she'd punch me in the same place every day. And she never apologised for this, ever, by the way. She would do this thing all the time where she'd empty my pencil case and then hide all my things around the room and then make me find it. She thought this was all this really funny joke, but at first it was, but then it would happen all the time and it would just be annoying and she would find it so funny, and it really wasn't funny. It was She would comment negatively on my appearance, on my clothes. I remember specifically, it sounds really stupid, but I had some purple nail varnish on once and she just looked at me and was like, "Why are you wearing that? It's disgusting." She would comment about my YouTube channel and how stupid she thought it was, comment on my inability to do things, like if there was something I couldn't do well, then she'd comment on that all the time. And this just happened every day, all the time, and it added up and made me feel terrible. So this was all in the first term of sixth form, by the way. So there was a big first term of year 13, sorry. So there was a lot of stress at school. We were applying for universities. Both my parents went to really good universities. My mum went to Cambridge, my dad went to Imperial, and they both did science. I was applying to do fashion, so I felt kind of like a disappointment, and I wasn't applying to really good universities like them. I was never going to get the grades to go to universities like them. Also the school, oh my god, the school pushed so hard for you to go to Russell Group universities, and they pushed Oxbridge so much because they want numbers for Ofsted, for the school website, for anything and everything. they pushed it so hard, and it just made everything 10 times worse because it made me feel like I wasn't good enough. I already felt like I wasn't good enough, and then they would push and push and push for better unis, better things, and they'd ask like, why aren't you applying for a better university, whatever. And it just felt so... like, it was okay if you had the strength to push back, but I didn't have the confidence and the strength to push back and say, no, I'm going to do what I want. And it really took a toll on me because I was so drained from the stress of applying to universities, thinking I was a disappointment to my parents, to the school, to everyone. Also, Kyle, Mia's boyfriend, oh my god, he annoyed me so much because he thought that Russell Group universities were like the biggest, best thing ever, and like if you didn't go to Russell Group University you're gonna fail at life and you might as well just die. And he said, I remember him saying this so clearly, he said, I will disown my kids if they don't go to a Russell Group university. He said that he'll disown his kids if they don't get into a Russell Group university. For those of you who don't know, Russell Group universities in the UK, I guess you could say they're kind of the equivalent to Ivy League in the US. Kind of. But anyway, joke's on him, he doesn't even go to Russell Group University. And then there was also all the consequences from year 12. If you watched my year 12 video, you will know what happened in year 12. I felt like I didn't fit in, like an outcast, a loner, a loser. So that was also... oh, and also, for this whole period of time, I was not eating properly at all. I went to the hospital in August for something unrelated, and they weighed me. And then I went to the hospital again in February and I had lost 3 kilograms. 3 kilograms. And I was so underweight. So no wonder I felt terrible physically. Because I was so underweight and I wasn't eating nearly enough. I'll try and find a picture of me. I don't know if I can find a picture of me then. But there's a picture when I was still really underweight. It was like a year later. I'll put here that I know that I have, so I can show you that. And I do look very thin, like unhealthily thin. So yeah, there's that as well. But all of this, me holding all of this in, it just led to a massive mental breakdown in early December. So I ended up texting the school nurse, text your school nurse program thing that they had in my county, and my text was so long, literally. Do I have it? Yeah, so my message was so long that you have to click on it because it couldn't have it all on the text thing. You have to click on it to look at it. I was in crisis mode. It took so much for me to text that number. I was in complete crisis mode and it was just really bad. My first message was sent at 7 AM in the morning and I was terrified. I didn't want to go to school. I was a mess. I was terrified. I just couldn't deal with it. And then they couldn't reply till 9 when the text service opened. And then they couldn't get hold of a nurse at my school for a whole day. A whole day. They could not get hold of anyone at my school who could talk to me. A whole day. I was in crisis mode. Anything could have happened in those 24 hours. But anyway, so my school nurse, forwards me to CAMS. If you don't know, if you've never had any experience with CAMS, if you have had experience with CAMS, you probably realise that CAMS is some bullshit. Oh my god. So, I went to CAMS, didn't get an appointment until mid-January. And then I went, everything was a lot worse by mid-January. Everything was getting worse and worse and worse by mid-January. Went to my appointment, I was 17 and a half. They were like, oh yeah, we can't help you. You're 17 and a half. It's too close to you being 18. And then the adult services couldn't help me. They were like, oh, you're not 18 yet, we can't help you. So I was just abandoned by mental health services completely. Next page. I was just abandoned completely, and when I eventually got onto adult counselling when I was 18, they diagnosed me as being severely depressed. So I was severely depressed when CAMS just abandoned me. And yeah, so if I hadn't had as much strength as I did, then anything could have happened in that period of time that CAMS abandoned me and the adult service wouldn't help me. But luckily for me, I had the strength. But anyway, enough of that. We'll get back to this whole counselling thing a bit later on. But now we're going to go on to February. February of 2017. So, I uploaded a YouTube video which was called Reacting to My Cringy Old Videos. And since the start of 2017, I've been trying really hard with uploading videos, and I was just really enjoying it. I love to do YouTube. I don't know how to describe how much I love it. I love it. But I uploaded this video. Sorry, this makes me so angry. I think it was the next day or something. I got home from school, was checking YouTube as you do, and I had a notification that I got a new comment on my video. And it was a comment from a popular girl at my school. Actually, this is the same girl who, in my year 12 video, I was talking about how she was like asking everyone in the room a question and she skipped over me. If you've seen that video, then you'll know what I'm talking about, probably. Same girl. She commented this comment 4 or 5 hours before I saw the notification. And 4 or 5 hours before I saw the notification was lunchtime at school. So that was great. I just knew that they were all talking about me and laughing at me at lunchtime, watching my videos, using their 4G to watch my videos. Who does that just to comment a mean comment on someone's video using 4G? Anyway, so she commented. I'll put a photo up here, a screenshot, a photo. I'll put the comment here. So she said, suggestion, if you're going to react to a cringy video, react to this one, babe. When I read that, my heart sank. My heart sank. I just wanted to die, basically. I just wanted to die. I can handle random people commenting on my videos. Like, back then, I could handle that. I could handle it if a random person I didn't know was hating on my videos. But because of everything that happened in year 12 and everything like that, and I knew that they made fun of me, and I knew all of this, I just could not deal with it because it was someone I knew, someone who I knew made fun of me, and it just made it so real. I was so angry. I was so angry that I posted on my Instagram story about it, like indirect post. And like, I don't do that. That's not something that I do, particularly back then. I would never do anything like that. But I was so angry that I just did it. I'm going to read you an extract from my diary from this day. When I saw this, my heart sank, and I got that feeling of dread, like I just wanted to die. I knew they all talked about me and my YouTube and made fun of it, but this made it feel real. A couple years ago, a popular boy commented, "Cool vid." I got angry. I was talking to my friends on the group chat and they were all getting so angry as well. That girl is such a bitch. I don't understand. I was so angry, so angry. My making of YouTube videos has absolutely nothing to do with her. When I started, I didn't even tell my best friends. Lauren found out because she was stalking my personal YouTube account. Funny story, but yeah. And my other friends eventually found out. I never told them. A girl was the first of that group to watch it. Then the next thing I know, Tegan, who I talked about on my Year 12 video, and the popular girl who commented on my video had seen my Instagram story. The popular girl doesn't even follow me. They were obviously all talking about me because quite a few people who don't follow me watched it. I was so scared to go to school today. I cannot wait to leave this stupid school. Sometimes I wish I never went to sixth form because it has messed me up so bad. I am now so much more insecure and paranoid. I constantly feel judged and I hate it. So yeah, that's what I wrote that day, or the day after. Next story. Okay. So we went on a school trip to Washington DC, and I was in a room with Lauren. I've forgotten that I was just using her real name there. I was thinking, what name did I give her? No, I was in a room with Lauren and we talked about how we were feeling, and we both realised that we felt the same way about how Mia was treating me and her. Mia, as it turns out, Mia had been spreading rumours about Lauren around school, so yeah. Anyway, we felt the same way about how she was treating us. And after the trip we got back to school and Mia just wasn't talking to us. Which was odd because Mia wasn't on the trip. Mia shouldn't have known what we were talking about, how we were feeling, because, you know, that was how we were feeling. And we were going to bring this up with her. I'll talk about that later. We figured out that our other friend must have been messaging her when we were in DC and telling her that we were mad at her. And that is the only explanation we have for why she wasn't speaking to us. On March 1st, I have this specific date because of my diary. On March 1st, I decided that I needed to talk to Mia about how I was feeling. I had tried many times before, by the way, but I was ignored. She never listened to me, ever. Ever. Before I spoke to her, I spent days deciding what I should say to her, how I should do it, if I should go with like Lauren or another friend to talk to her about it, if I should go alone, how I was gonna get her alone to talk to her. I was planning so much stuff because I didn't want her to feel ganged up on. I just wanted her to know how I felt. I needed a way to force her to listen to me because every other time I tried to talk to her, it just went in one ear, out the other. I was completely ignored. So I pulled her aside in a free, I think it was a free. It was either a free or lunchtime. I was so nervous. I remember this like it was yesterday. I was so nervous. I was shaking. My voice was shaking as well. I was a nervous wreck. So I was just trying to tell her how I felt, how what she was doing was making me feel. But in case I hadn't already guessed, it all went wrong. And it ended with her yelling at me and saying that I was never allowed to talk to her again, basically. And I don't know what I could have done differently. I tried so hard to make it so that I wasn't making her feel like I was ganging up on her or just saying that she was a terrible person or whatever. I was trying so hard to explain it to her in a way that she would understand and make her feel, yeah. Basically, I was just trying to get her to understand. I wasn't trying to attack her in any way. I just wanted her to understand how I felt, and then we could solve the issue and we could be friends like we had been since nursery. But she told me to never talk to her again. She unfollowed me on everything. She left all group chats that I was in with her. And that was that. I don't know what I could have done differently. She's never talked to me since, really, properly at all. Yeah. Fun fact though, I sent all my friends notes at the end of that school year, just saying like something nice about them, something I liked about them, and just saying, oh, we need to keep in touch, blah blah blah. So I sent one to her, to Mia, just saying that if she ever needed me, I was still there for her and stuff. And apparently she was just like mouthing off about how like, oh, why'd you send me this, blah blah blah, that she's so stupid. So that's a little side note, but anyway. So between when Mia and I were no longer friends and Leavers Day, everything was just getting worse and worse and worse. So after I turned 18, I went to the adult counselling services. By then, everything was so much worse than it was when I was referred to CAMS, and nothing helped. Nothing was helping at all. It was just getting worse and worse. I would have so many panic attacks before school because I did not want to go. I had social anxiety when I was in town. I could not walk around town without having a panic attack because I was terrified that I would see someone from school. I wanted to die, basically. I don't really want to talk about that whole thing, but I was depressed, and you know what people do when they're depressed, when it gets really bad. So yeah, I don't really want to talk about that, but I'm just going to read a few things from my diary from that time. So this was one time when I had a complete breakdown, freak out. I went to Lawrence after school. My parents freaked out because they didn't know where I was. I did not go to my theatre group. In the end, I wasn't in the right mindset. We watched La La Land. I kept having sadness attacks. I don't know how to explain it, but it was a little like a panic attack, except sadness instead of panic. I was walking home when my sister and my mum got back. I didn't want to talk to my parents, so I went for a walk. I went to the park, then up to school, my primary school, not my secondary school that I went to. Then I just sat on the hill by the school road sign and just thought for a while. I genuinely thought I should just run away, but then my friend Snapchatted me and I kept walking on past the parish hall. I messaged Jack, my boyfriend, telling him I was cold when I was just passing the church. He started asking where I was and stuff. I walked through a housing estate in my village and sat on the bench. Then Jack managed to persuade me to go home. I went somewhat reluctantly. I had lost so many friends, so I wasn't worth it. According to Mia, our 16 years of friendship wasn't even worth a Snapchat friendship or an Instagram follow, yet she still likes all of the popular girl who commented on my YouTube videos pictures. Today the Leavers hoodies arrived and we had to go to H10, that's a room in my school, to get them. That's where all the popular group hung out. My camera just stopped recording. So as I was saying, that's where all the popular group hung out. The girl who commented on my YouTube video and another girl were giving out the hoodies. It took them ages to find mine and the others left without me, except I managed to get one friend to stay. I hated standing there waiting for them to find it. I felt like they were judging me. I could feel myself starting to panic, and when they found it, I left shaking. Thankfully, a week tomorrow is Leavers Day, and then we only have to come in for exams. Although I really don't want to come to school on Leavers Day and see all the populars get the prizes. Also, the school absolutely hate my year. They always have. I mean, our head teacher called our GCSE results a glitch. Yeah. But then a bunch of people in my year were really stupid that last week, so then they hated us even more, obviously. After leaving school and finishing exams, everything got so much better. Like, it took a little while, but everything got so much better. I was discharged from counselling because I had low levels of anxiety and depression, not high anymore. Also, I was going to uni, which I will do a video about my first year of uni. Didn't go quite as planned, but yeah, it didn't. My low levels didn't last very long. And I had a really good summer that summer, actually, because I found some good friends and all was going well, but that didn't last that long. But that's stories for a different video, so yeah. So before I end the video, I just wanted to say that if you are going through anything that I did in year 13, make sure to tell your parents or a trusted person who you trust to help you, because I didn't like telling my parents anything, and I just can't help but think that if I told my parents about what was happening, about how I felt, then something could have been done about it. I said at the end of my year 12 video that if I told my parents about what was happening, then maybe I wouldn't have had to go through everything I did in year 13 and everything would have been better. Maybe I would have left that school and done something else, and I would have been healthier and felt better about myself. But I will never know because I never told my parents. So please, if you are going through something, do tell your parents or a trusted adult or anyone who can actually. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and give it a thumbs up for more school story times. I have a lot of school story times. I have so many, it's actually ridiculous. So give me a thumbs up if you enjoy these videos, and I will continue to post them. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. Never stop dreaming, and I'll see you next time. Bye!